Hi,
Hi.
my name is Brienne, and I'm going to be your occupational therapist today.
Perfect.
So can you go ahead and tell me your name and a little bit about why I am seeing you today?
Yeah, I'm Becky, and I recently got burned from about, right about here all the way up to here. It was a pretty bad burn on the front of my arm, and so the doctor referred me to OT. And he said he was pretty concerned about getting an elbow contracture, I think. So I'm not really sure what that means or what to do, so that's why I'm here to see you.
Well, we will tell you, me and my other occupational therapy friend, Callie, will tell you all about what contractures are and what our modality is going to be, and maybe more about like an orthosis we're going to make for you, okay?
Perfect.
Awesome. So you had mentioned that the doctor was a little concerned about you developing something called contractures, and so that is any joint in your body, if it is in a bent position for a long period of time, it could kind of get stuck. So everything inside of your elbow or wherever the joint is, stuff just builds up. It won't let you kind of go back to normal like you want to.
Okay.
So the doctor had said we should make you an orthosis. Do you know what an orthosis is?
No.
So it's kind of like a splint or a cast, but we're gonna have some straps in it where you can remove it and take it off, and then we'll have you put it on. We actually probably won't have you take it off because of the severe injury that you have sustained.
Okay.
But the way that we make that is we first draw a pattern on a paper towel, and this will help us measure how big it needs to be on you, how wide around it needs to go around your arm, and then we will cut this out on a thermoplastic material, which is a hard plastic, and then we'll cut it. It'll be hot. You can watch me while I make it too, but we're gonna form it to you. And the goal is that you will be in a position like this so that you don't develop contractures, and then if you develop contractures, you'll be unable to straighten your elbow.
So when I'm wearing this thing you're going to be making, I will not be able to bend my arm?
That is correct.
Okay.
And that is only while you have the burn injury. Once the burn injury kind of heals itself, then we will start working on some range of motion and getting your function back, as well as strength. And I will explain more about how long you should wear it, how often you should wear it once it's completed.
Okay, sounds good.
Alrighty, Becky, so just to recap, we took this paper towel and we traced it onto a piece of thermoplastic material, which, as other therapist was mentioning, it's basically this large sheet of material. We put it in the water, we got it really warm, which made it easy to cut. We cut it out, we shaped it to your arm. We had you bend your arm to 30 degrees of flexion, so just like this, and we laid that material over and we waited for it to dry again and to harden, and we made your orthosis. So we then went around and we added some straps, that way it would be secure. I'd love for you to try it on just to see how it fits. We're just going to take the straps off on one side, that way they remain attached.
Okay.
And we're just going to slide it on just like this. It'll be a little bit difficult to get on at first, but it should stay secure once it's on.
And then I'll just strap them down?
Yep. We'll take these straps, we'll secure them. So this material that we worked with, it's actually called Omega. It's 1/8 of an inch, which essentially means it's a lot thicker than a lot of the other materials. And this again will help prevent those contractures. The elbow is a pretty strong joint, so it might try and work against that material. So this is strong enough to resist that. We've added the straps as support. We've padded the area right here, the medial epicondyle, because it could be uncomfortable if it was wearing on it for a long period of time.
Okay. Why, so my burn, it's covering my burn. Why did you put this right over my burn?
If we were to take this material and put it on the back of your arm, you just think of it flipped around. The Velcro would be on top. Again, like we were talking about, the elbow is a pretty strong joint, so it wouldn't be enough to overcome the strength of the elbow, and so you might develop those contractures. So this will make sure that it's nice and secure and that it will stay in that position of 30 degrees of flexion, or basically just that slightly bent position.
Okay. So I was just wondering, can I take this off? If so, how do I do that? What are some things I need to worry about handling the orthosis?
Because of the severity of the burn, we want you to wear it full time. We as therapists will take it off to do some passive range of motion, which means that we'll just take your arm and we'll move it for you.
Okay.
Go through those exercises. We don't want to stiffen the elbow, just because it can stiffen pretty quickly. It isn't a full cast, so you are able to remove it with the Velcro, but that would only be for kind of a severe case of maybe something gets stuck under there and you need to get it out. But we do want you to be wearing it full time just because of the nature of the burn.
Okay. And then is there anything that I need to know about it? Like, can I still drive with my left hand or like anything?
Ultimately, as a therapist, that is not up to me to say. I would recommend doing whatever is comfortable as far as driving. I don't want to recommend something that could put you in an unsafe situation, but I can't inhibit you from driving either. So I would say just try it out, see if it feels safe, and if it is unsafe, then maybe have someone else drive while the burn is healing.
Sounds good.
Just one more thing to consider, this is heat activated material, so be sure that if you are driving that you don't leave it in the car.
Okay.
We are hoping that this will be pretty comfortable for you. We chose a material with perforations or holes just so that your skin would be able to breathe a little bit. We know that it is Arizona and it's the summer and it can be pretty hot.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions for me, Becky?
I don't think so. It feels pretty good.
Alrighty.
So, thank you guys.
I will see you in a couple days for your follow-up appointment.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.